today. So we're starting in the upper side of the map on Varney Research Station to introduce our blue Terran player. Pretty sure he's the newest recruit right now on Root Gaming. It's Kelazhur, the Brazilian Terran player. This probably is his SC2 Improved Team League debut as far as I am aware. And his opponent from Cascade is the pink Protoss player to the south side of the map. It's KaKoS. So just getting into the early stages of this game, and both players have actually been checking around with early workers just to see if there's any proxies out on the map or anything, and both taking some interesting routes just to check that. But there isn't anything, and we just have a very standard game to start things off here in game number 1 of this best of 7. Just a Reaper expand from Kelazhur, who's put down his reactor now as well, continuing to mine in gas. So looking as though he could be heading into a factory rather quickly. And there's that CC coming down as we would expect. The Reaper coming across the map. From KaKoS, we do currently just see him about to drop his expansion, or waiting with the probe to drop his expansion. He is on double gas though, but only 2 workers on each, so, you know, slightly faster tech going to be coming out of him after he expands, but that will be delayed with that probe getting taken down here by this Reaper. The ship core comes in, and we'll have a little bit of fun with that Reaper before making it turn away, and SCV actually at the natural going to start putting down an engineering bay. This won't get too much done. I mean, the mothership core is going to come in and kill the SCV pretty quickly, and the engineering bay should go down pretty soon after, especially with the Stalker coming out as well, although Kelazhur taking this as an opportunity to maybe get some more damage done with the Reaper, although he's taking a lot of damage on it now, but he will just get away on 4 hit points, and that Reaper stays alive for now. There's engineering bay still blocking over here, so this natural now is being delayed quite a bit longer than he really would have liked it to be, so this has been quite a nice little move by Kelazhur, really using the Reaper to kind of make the Stalker stay over towards the main base instead of helping to take that down does really help. He cancels that now, starts up a bunker at home, factory on the way as well, so going into some mine play, most likely a starport and a medevac to go alongside this early on here as well. So everything looking pretty standard at this point in time for Kelazhur, as we also have KaKoS just slowly starting to build himself up and get into his own mid game. There's that Stargate coming down, and again we were expecting some kind of tech here pretty much straight away because of the double gas opening. He had a lot of gas banked up, still does, despite even having made 2 Stalkers instead of just the standard 1 early on. And yeah, just the Stargate to come down here, and we're waiting to see what this probe is going to add on, whether it be gateways, whether it be more tech, and it is just going to be a very fast robo facility to follow this up as well. So most likely from the Stargate we're just looking at a single Oracle, and then following this up straight into the robo facility, straight into you know, a couple of observers for vision and whatever else he needs. As this Reaper comes in once again, he's going to see absolutely everything though. He already sees the Stargate, he has seen that robo facility too. Whether he clicked on it or not is a different question, but he should have been able to see that. He probably will have. So I mean, Kelazhur gets the perfect scout. He knows exactly what's going on right at the start of this game. And we've got a couple of Hellions actually from Kelazhur coming across the map. Something I didn't quite notice. I thought he was just going to go for the standard mine drop, but he actually popped that factory onto the reactor. So he's going to look for some kind of Hellion drop here instead. A medevac is on the way out, and that'll actually pick up these Marines. And we're looking at maybe potentially some kind of elevator play, or even if he doesn't elevate, we do have the possibility for Kelazhur to just say, you know, drop in the main base while running by with the Hellions, or drop in the natural, run by with the Hellions in towards the main. The Hellions will spot this Oracle moving across the map right now, and the medevac actually will boost the Marines over in towards position to help keep the turret, which is currently building over here, nice and safe. The Oracle goes the other way though, and does manage to dive past those Marines, and looking for his first SCV kill of the game. We'll pick that up right now. And it's going to pick up a second one here as well, and third and a fourth actually, so quite nice. 4 SCV kills, keeps the Oracle alive as well. That's pretty good going there by our Protoss player, who's started up an Immortal now, and I guess he saw them with the Oracle, the medevac, so he must know some kind of aggression is coming. He actually sees that medevac heading across the map now. Wants to be careful because, I mean, with a boost, Kelazhur could just drop right under this Oracle, and it probably wouldn't stand much of a chance. He doesn't though, and the Observer also watching the Hellions right now, wanting to try and keep an eye on where exactly they might be going. They are heading over towards that main base ramp, as we do see the medevac once again continue towards the kind of space in between the main and natural here. Going to force a foot and overcharge in one location as the Phoenix comes out. Will look to shut down this medevac nice and quickly, as well, it's just a little bit out of range to start auto attacking, as at the same time we have these Hellions trying to move up the ramp, but nice block on the Stalkers here, not able to achieve anything at all. The Immortal having out against them quite a bit, as this mothership core is going to go down sentries moving over there don't actually really help out a lot, and now there's actually nothing in position to defend at this natural expansion as the Hellions are going to try and make their way through into the main base again. They do take down this first Stalker, so they now can move up that ramp, but they're continuing to fight the next Stalker here as these Marines continue just do whatever they can, picking up though as the Mortal and Sentry combination comes in, and because he literally just trades off the Hellions for the Stalkers here. Now he's going to try and run in, but he's taking so much extra damage. If he ran in straight away, he would have had 5 Hellions, and that's a big difference here to just the 3, as he still does get some worker kills. And pulling away here, that Hellion will go down just before grabbing the last couple there. Oh, 13 worker kills though, back over here. We've had some more workers. 13 workers, how did he kill 13 workers? Like, where did the damage come from? I guess mostly from that drop that was over in the natural. That seems insane to see 13 workers go down. With the Hellions not even going in towards the main base, so that's actually a little bit surprising. I didn't really notice that was going on. So these Phoenixes continue to fly around. They'll continue to defend here. Early on is another Phoenix on the way up in production. We've got Stimpack on the way. Got +1 coming in for Kelazhur as well. He's just setting up into his own mid game. He's on these 3 racks, going up to barracks number 4 and 5 as well. So his production is well set for the next few minutes now, up until he decides to invest into a 3rd base. And KaKoS, well, he has actually not been taken all too quickly himself. He's only just now putting down his Robo Bay, and that means first Colossi are not going to be hitting the map here for quite some time, delaying that to be able to invest in these Phoenix. And so these Phoenix really need to get some work done, killing off some workers, and you know, just genuine pressure on the Terran player. They should really be kind of on top of drops, etc. But one of them has slipped by here over to the left-hand side. 4 mines inside of this medevac, and it's quickly moving towards that main base here, where it could pick up a lot of damage if KaKoS does not respond soon enough. And here we go. These mines are going to start dropping out. He immediately starts moving forwards, and the mines do burrow. All 4 of them burrow, but not too much damage really done here. Just a couple of probes taken down. I think 1 probe by each mine. That mine actually got 6 kills. What? Wow, how? I don't even understand how. Okay, so the mine pick up 6 kills there, but other than that, this medevac just going to be falling back. Maybe there was a mine drop earlier, which was just completely missed somehow. I'm honestly not too sure. Anyways, a lot of Phoenix out right now for KaKoS, and he's just sitting on the right-hand side of the map right now, waiting in case there is potentially another medevac around and heading towards his natural, which could be a danger to him. So if you could pick one off something like that, that would be nice, of course, with these Phoenix. Colossus production does now begin. As the Phoenix heading in towards the main base, need to be careful of the Widow Mines, which could be going all over. And they avoid them for now, and 3 workers go down now, 4. And again, this is pretty nice. Oh, he's going to fly over the Widow Mine on the way out though, and just actually responds to it in time. So nice awareness there by KaKoS, pulling his Phoenix back, and he will eventually be able to slide out of this right-hand side of the base. We've got a Marine, just heading back home for Kelazhur, it seems. Not really anything super crazy to talk about here. As the 3rd Nexus actually comes down from KaKoS as well. And as coming in with an Observer now, actually able to pick up that Widow Mine, takes that down, picks off a few workers as well, and a couple of Marines to go with. And actually may pick up a medevac here, just grabbing it with the last hit before going out of range there. So these Phoenix actually really starting to get some work done, starting to pick away at the Terran army quite significantly, and lowering the medevac count is always going to be a good thing, especially when you're playing Phoenix Colossus, because the Terran player himself is going to want to go into some kind of composition which is probably going to focus very heavily on Vikings, but you're still going to want your medevacs from earlier in the game up. So if you don't have them early medevacs up, you find yourself having to remake them, and then you don't have as many Vikings as you need. And that can of course get into a bit of a troublesome position as these Phoenix will actually find this army in the middle of the map, and Kelazhur not paying attention. Loses another medevac here. 4 cannons being added on by KaKoS, so he's really interested in just holding on onto his 3rd base right now. Knowing his army on the ground is not too large. In fact, it's pretty much non-existent when you compare it to the ground army of the Terran player. We're talking about 20 Marines and Marauders apiece, and we only have 3 Immortals. Well, I mean, 3 Immortals, 2 Colossi. I mean, it's a very high-tech army, what is out, but there's nothing to really tank for them there, as moving forwards the Marine sees there's a lot of cannons and probably will decide to just not move into this. So a good decision to add on those cannons, probably a necessary one, and it will keep KaKoS alive here for now in this game, as this set of Marine Marauder moves back, and we'll just be taking this right-hand watchtower right now and moving forwards once again. So yeah, I mean, this army just continue to hold map control, and I mean, behind this, what can Kelazhur really do? I mean, he can't really engage just yet. He really does need to increase his Viking number before he goes for any kind of fight. Fixed in there, picks off a single Phoenix because of it. And again, slowing the Phoenix number will be nice to take such good care of these medevacs. And whoa, kind of baiting him in there a little bit by leaving the medevacs behind, then turning quickly and suddenly with the Marines to try and catch the Phoenix off guard. And I mean, this army just continues to build up here for KaKoS. He's actually added a second Stargate. We can see Fleet Beacon as well, most likely for Anion Pulse Crystals. Get that Phoenix range going. 4 Vikings being made at a time for Kelazhur. But are they his first 4 Vikings? Yes, they are. Wow. So I mean, these are really late here in this game. First 4 Vikings really not going to be kind of, I mean, yeah, 17-minute Vikings, wow. So I mean, he really does need to get up to kind of 16 plus Vikings to really make a difference against what is going to be a heavily, you know, a heavy amount of units in the sky for KaKoS. I mean, again, he's got all of these Phoenix, he's got those Colossi as well, building up out of the Robo facility, and I mean, you've got to make the decision: do you fight against the Phoenix and kill them off and then the Colossi, or do you target down the Colossi and just let your Vikings take free damage from the Phoenix? So that's going to be something we see Kelazhur attempt to deal with here. As he moves over towards the left-hand side of the map, he will find a 4th base on the way up, and that will be a very quick cancel here out of Kelazhur. So forcing the cancel on that, and KaKoS just going to sit back. His Colossi number continues to rise, and again, right now, there's no real reason for him to fight into the Terran play. I mean, yeah, he can't get his 4th base just yet, but the Terran's not exactly rushing onto his own 4th base right now. It's not like the process falling insanely far behind or anything as Kelazhur. He's very careful moving a few units forwards on their own like that, especially with so many Colossi out with extended thermal lens. Just a couple of swipes, and all of a sudden, most of that Marine mortar would just disappear into nothingness. So I mean, it's actually been a fairly slow game past the start of the game where we had a little bit of action with the drop play with the medevacs, and we haven't really seen anything happening at all. It's yeah, it's been pretty slow paced since then. We have a couple of command centers being added on now by Kelazhur, realizing that this might very well go late, and he's starting to build up a turret wall as well, or line of turrets, and that's pretty nice because if you can get rid of the turret, if you have the turret line, it really stops the cross with this composition fighting into you, because it'll add so much DPS to the Phoenix / Colossi that realistically he just cannot trade well enough by attacking into it. So you know, it makes it very difficult for the prospect to really move forward onto the map, and forces him to basically sit back and camp. And you know, as a template, you can, you know, obviously the crossplay macroing is a scary thing, but if he cannot really leave his base, or if he does, any fight he takes is going to be unfavorable, then you are going to be making your progress, essentially just taking the map control and so on. Map control does currently lie in KaKoS on this right hand side. He has his out there, is going forwards once again, looking for a fight here maybe with the army, but falling back, and nice EMPs coming in onto the Phoenix, taking away a lot of their lift energy and a lot of their shields as well, really softening them up for the Vikings to perhaps come in and get some work done. But how many Vikings do we have here with the army? Only 10, and I mean 10 Vikings is barely even enough to just take on Colossi on their own usually. Never mind there being 6 Colossi, which is a little bit more than normal, and of course all of these Phoenix in the skies. So I don't know if Kelazhur should really be looking to fight into this. One overcharge going to pop now as well, and he's taking a lot of free damage from these Colossi, just moving around and around. He's finally going to start fighting here. Now he stims as well, but I mean all of his Vikings are going to get absolutely annihilated, and wow, I mean there's still quite a bit here on the ground, but the Colossi just continue to clean up. And I mean, I'm not surprised the Phoenix aren't coming in and lifting some of these units to try and help out, or even just chasing down the medevacs. Marauders starting to move forwards here, and I mean, Kelazhur is kind of just losing everything. What does he, you know, what did he gain from that? He didn't kill off a single Colossus. What was actually lost in that fight? I mean, the Immortals were lost. He didn't lose a single Colossus. He killed off some Phoenix, great, but he lost all of his Vikings, and now he really doesn't have anything to do. And I mean, it's a point like this where KaKoS really can start moving out onto the map. The turret's going to be outranged here. Also the still forward from the Marauders here. Again, not too much to tank here for these Colossi. Mostly just relying on the Phoenix being able to scare the Vikings, the rest of the army away from the distant ring here. Just clean out one line of turrets. There is another line of turrets set up in the back, and that's something else which KaKoS will be going through here in a couple of moments if he wants to try and make some progress. Phoenix just leaving over to the right hand side. We'll maybe could head towards the main / natural, get some worker damage done. I mean, well, there's not exactly much anti-air set left over here to deal with any Phoenix, which do come along to harass, so you could definitely do that. Or again, I mean, if you just, at this point, I think, kind of, I mean, he's maxed out, so when you're maxed out, it's kind of the time where you want to start moving forwards. For now, he's actually going to invest in more upgrades, shield upgrades coming in. You also see the Twilight Council coming down, so you can start up his +2 weapons and armor. And moving forward with this army, I mean, it's such a, I guess it still is a very fragile army. There's only a handful of zealots here. With a good concave, I mean, he could still, you know, Kelazhur could definitely still get some damage done. As these Phoenix just moving forwards, and we'll find another couple of SCVs which are building turrets here in the middle of the map. And Kelazhur just sitting tight, waiting to see what his opponent's move will be. And KaKoS not confident enough to move forwards just yet. Just hanging back here for now. As Phoenix just moving around a little. Still cannons being added on. And the Vikings and some more units just strolling through the middle of the map. Those go forwards here, trying to land the MPs on these Phoenix, but look to kind of completely miss here. A couple of Vikings getting taken down here by this Phoenix flyby. And the Viking count just taking a little bit of damage. Temple Archives now on the way, Dark Shrine as well, another Stargate coming in from KaKoS, taking up to I think 4 in total. He's actually adding on 2 more, so that's going to take him to a total of 5 Stargates here, as the Ghost Academy begins to produce some nukes for Kelazhur. So this, I mean, we are already late game, but this is going to be going really late game it seems, because neither player really wants to attack into the other. This Marauder on the Watchtower going to get taken down by the Zealot. KaKoS establishing a base to the base on the gold, so that's the 5th base coming for him right now. As Vikings taking a little bit of free damage, onto the Phoenix. Still a little bit interested what exactly he would like to do. These Phoenix moving forwards once again here as 3 more turrets get added on. And again, just make it so hard for the KaKoS player to actually push forwards into this. The Zealot attempt at a run by. Gets shut down pretty quickly. Kelazhur also sees those 3 zealots on the right hand side, so he's going to just be able to send a few units and he'll grab them very, very quickly. And, I mean, the upgrade advantage is huge right now. 3-2 for our Terran player against just the 1-1 of the Protoss. So you can see those zealots melt, and that's kind of the issue right now. If the zealots are going to melt, what do you do? I'm not really completely sure. So let's wait and see. As standing forwards here, he's going to take down a couple of these cannons and moving forwards. Vikings doing quite a bit here. Taking quite a bit of damage from the Phoenix as the MP's coming down. These Colossi are slowly working their way through these Marauders, but the Marauders, there's nothing to stop them just stimming after the Colossi, apart from the DPS of the Colossi alone. So they move forwards, they take quite a few of the Colossi down. The Phoenix actually lose this battle in the skies here against the Vikings. So moving forwards now, there's nothing to really contest these Vikings anymore, and they can just start to kite these Phoenix or chase down the Colossi. A few Stalkers get warped in to help out, but it looks as though KaKoS is going to lose his 4th base here. And Kelazhur takes this fight, and I feel as though he could still be pushing with those Vikings. I feel as though he could get a little bit more done still if he wanted to, or maybe even if it's just his entire army, but he's taking it slow and steady. He doesn't want to rush into something and just lose for no reason. These extra turrets being set up, and as soon as he's eliminated the Phoenix count here, he starts to move some medevacs onto the map in the form of dropships. So he's going to drop over here and look to deny his gold base as well now that the Phoenix can't chase him down. A lot of cannons getting made over here. If Kelazhur attacks in the next 5-10 seconds, he's going to be able to do okay. And he does now stim, he does start to move up here. A couple of DGs getting walked in, so that's nice. This will help slow us down. At least burn a scan if he wants to save it. In fact, the army coming over here will take down the majority of this. So only a few cannons lost for KaKoS, but now the Terran player will move forward and take advantage of this positioning which he's been able to gain. But the cannons will slow him down again, and how much will Kelazhur really be able to kill off here? Maybe a single Stargate, and that pretty much will be it now as he kites away from those couple of zealots which have come in to try and help out. Air armor coming in here for KaKoS as well. I mean, continuing with his upgrades as the Vikings moving forwards, they do have +2 weapons on them. And oh no, wow, okay, wow, that was very fortunate for KaKoS there, or unfortunate for Kelazhur, depending on who you're rooting for. I mean, if he accidentally attacked with a couple of his Vikings, and he would have killed a couple of Colossi if all of his Vikings had been there. Instead, only 2 were kind of caught the edge of the range of their attack and attacked the Colossi, and they actually fell to their deaths through those Phoenix. So that's a little bit unfortunate for Kelazhur, a little bit fortunate for KaKoS, as we're to see what will come next. A few Colossi moving forward from the right hand side, and there's no energy on that one Ghost there. There's another Ghost, and what is it going to EMP? Does he go for the Phoenix? Yes, he does. He takes off a lot of shields, he takes off a lot of energy. A second Ghost comes in, that's another nice EMP here to be able to help clean out these Phoenix, but the Colossi continue to move forwards. And the Phoenix just seem to be winning this fight this time around, and the Colossi just need to be careful, need to be able to kite backwards here. Should things get a little bit dicey, should these units start stimming forwards and closing the ground between the Colossi and the Bio, to be able to actually get some damage done. Scans continuously coming down here because they're wanting to keep track of where is his opponent's army, what does he have to deal with right now. And well, he still controls this left hand side of the map. So many turrets over here, and again it's going to be so difficult for a Pros player to attack into this sort of position, so he has to be very, very cautious with how he handles this, and maybe just moving up the right hand side, maybe the way to go about things. KaKoS still stuck on the defensive here. Of course, behind this, Kelazhur, he has this 5th base and the 4th base running. I mean, he started those at pretty much the same time, and because of his control of this left hand side of the map, it's been pretty much impossible for the Pros player to get even close to those bases, so that's not really been an issue. As Kelazhur takes down a pylon, backs off again, really wants to just minimise the amount of damage he takes and maximising the damage he can do, so just picking off a pylon, getting out is the very safe way to play things here. Not overcommitting, not going to lose his army to a fight he doesn't want to take. It's a very smart way to play as this Terran army looks so it might be thinking of coming forward here once again. Scan comes down. And these Colossi just sit under this Phoenix held, this Phoenix cluster. As a base comes up, and the gold expansion now on the right hand side. KaKoS is looking to take this over gold as something is well, the command center from somewhere. There's attempting to float over there. I'm kind of intrigued where from. Or is he just going to build it? Sorry, okay, he's just going to try and build it, but he's actually just going to find the Nexus here instead, so he's going to have to deal with that at some point as a few units move forward once again from this Terran force and just look to do a little bit more damage over to this side of the map. As Stargate is going to be falling very, very quickly. And not really much KaKoS can do about it with his army being out of position. And oh, his Phoenix come forwards here, but he's actually going to get them completely caught. As the army comes in from the north, from the Terra, and the entire army coming forwards, they're looking to try and fight that, and Vikings taking a little bit, a couple of shots there now as this Terran army is going to get choked up a little bit in these turrets, continuing to give chase now. The Pros deciding to fall back, and I mean very, very kind of multi-dimensional right now. Both players neither really want to engage into the other, though both would be happy to take a fight if the other attacks into them, so it's kind of weird as these Kelazhur will clean up to this right hand side, that turret which a couple of SCVs did set up. And the Terran army heavily hurt right now. No medevacs in the sky with energy means that no healing can be done, and so this Terran army is looking worse for wear after a couple of stims. And if you imagine if it has to stim one more time the next time we go into a fight here, we're probably going to be seeing the Bio kind of on half hit points before the engagement even really begins, and it's going to make it so much easier for the Colossi lasers to just cleave through the Bio force. So that's going to be something which Kelazhur really needs to sort out soon. I mean, he needs to just make a round of medevacs out of the starports, and it'll help him to, it'll help him so much here. Instead, we just see Vikings continue to move forward. A few units stem backwards, looking to try and catch these Zelds, which are going to make their way in towards the third base, and they'll get a little bit of damage done over here, lowering that SCV count of the Terran. As it looks like we might have a bit of a fight here. Turret's going to be part of this, and they will now get taken out by the Colossi, but that looks to be a good start to the engagement from Kelazhur. As I wait to see again what will the next move be. This handful of units just sitting over to the right hand side on this gold base right now. A few more Zelds being warped in and moving forwards. Let me see what he can perhaps achieve here. There's Vikings falling backwards, Colossi moving forwards, and this is going to be the new position to stand off in. And I think KaKoS really kind of knows he may have to hold this position if he wants to have any chance at keeping this gold base alive to the top right. I mean, he's got a lot of cannons here, but if the entire army moves up there, he's not going to be able to hold on to it. Again, heavily stimmed this Bio army right now as this fight might begin to take place. But instead, we just see a Phoenix tick coming in and taking down a Viking or two before both players disengage. Command center now coming up on this on what should be the normal 5th base or 6th base of the Pros player. We're seeing Lucan coming in to look to clear out this gold. This is kind of interesting because, I mean, with already so many turrets up, I mean, it's a very safe place to actually expand to. This nuke continues to come in here, and KaKoS is aware of it, and he'll lose the simulator. Sorry, he'll lose the power, and the simulator stays alive. He loses power to one of his cannons now. And this Ghost continues to get a couple of shots off before being cleaned up here. Zards moving in towards the main army. after trying to clean up some of the missile turrets on the map on the left hand side. And both players' armies are in very interesting positions right now. The army of KaKoS up to the north side, touching the 5th base of Kelazhur right now, threatening to take away that source of economy. But Kelazhur is quick to move backwards, and I mean as well, KaKoS is also very quick to just disengage from that 5th base and to decide, hey, I don't want to have any part of that. So we see some Viking shots coming in once again. The Phoenix getting a couple of shots off for free again as the Vikings move backwards without firing. And some medevacs have been added in here, but they're already pretty much drained of energy, and our army still isn't healed up as these probes they're transferring, and didn't take the best of routes through the base of the Terran player, but hey, what can you say? You gotta go when you gotta go to your other gold base across the map, you just gotta go. And he will saturate this pretty heavily now, as I guess our pro player is pretty much mined out on his current bases. He's got this 4th base re-established over here. So yeah, starting to mine out these guys a little bit, and we are approaching the 40-minute mark. Of course, it's going to go for quite some time without anything really happening, but here we go. This might be the second major fight here, as the storm is absolutely huge on top of the Vikings, on top of a lot of the bio underneath those as well, and the Colossi reign supreme here at the end of this fight, and absolutely everything is cleaned up. Kelazhur has absolutely nothing left now. He falls back with a couple of the medevacs. That's all he manages to save from this. With this Colossi are going to move forward, take down a turret, take down a refinery. And Vikings are going to pick off one of these and slow this advancement down until some reinforcements get in here. It is just the Colossi remaining on the ground, you know, no air units or anything like that, but coming in towards the turrets even. These Phoenix is going to keep committing forwards, and every single Viking is going to get taken down as the Vikings fall. The Colossi become pretty much untouchable, although that being said, 4 of them at the front, and that is it. I guess if anything stems forward, the Phoenix would help out a lot by lifting up and taking units out of the equation. This planetary force is beginning to mine now, and that is something which KaKoS may not have to deal with in the end if he just continues to circumvent it. He is very close to being able to finish this game, I feel. He's just going to take his time. He's actually going to start cleaning out the turrets over here, and as he cleans out these turrets, he'll be able to clean out the planetary fortress as well. And we'll pick up a ton of SE vehicles now as they try to repair. Vikings finding the Phoenix a little bit too far away from the Colossi and are able to get some good shots off. But apart from that, we're still actually at a bit of a standstill here, as it seems that the KaKoS still doesn't really want to commit forwards into an attack. He rebuilds himself a little bit here following that last engagement, which again he did come out heavily on top of. I mean, look at the supplies, the resources kind of tell you the story. What's the resources lost, like 50k to 42k? So it's not really like Kelazhur's had too many more bases than his opponent. I guess he was I guess not really. I mean, he's only just taken us 6-ish now, which is pretty similar to KaKoS, especially considering he's got this. He's had both gold bases, which I guess is a little bit less income overall, but a little bit faster income. You know, if I can get picked off here alongside a bunch of SCVs, Kelazhur now down to only 21 workers, as these Vikings will look to cut off these Phoenix from escaping, but instead the Phoenix turn on them, and 2 more Vikings, 3 more, 4 going down here before again any major fight even begins to take place. A couple more Phoenix on the way out. And crossing the map must have having an interesting rally point right now. They will fly over these, especially these silver values. Not going to pick them off just yet though. Because just that. And again, he is just going to continue to look to use these turrets defensively for now. Probably the only way I can really see him winning this from 100 supply down is if KaKoS goes in a bit more time, and then also he's going to have to fight into the turrets, but that just doesn't matter. The initial engagement takes place away from those turrets, and this isn't going to matter at all here. 4 gets added into the composition later on to try and help deal with these Phoenix, but the Phoenix are pretty much able to lift everything here on their own, and this entire base gets ransacked, and GG well played will be called in game number 1 of this